July 1916. With the Somme offensive underway, top brass demand a diversionary attack by Australian and British units here at Fromelles. It is planned poorly, and warnings from officers on the ground that it will be a disaster are ignored. What follows will be the most devastating 24 hours in our military history. We are flying over the battleground. Below us is no man's land, a killing zone with little cover, dominated by German trenches and bunkers to our right. The Allied lines are to our left. There, Australian troops of the 5th Division, newly arrived on the Western Front, gather to launch their attack. This is VC Corner Australian Cemetery. A century ago, the Australian front line ran just to our left. Buried here are 410 Australians killed at Fromelles, whose bodies could not be identified. On this memorial wall are the names of 1,299 of our soldiers, slain in the battle, but with no known grave. Among them is Harry Moffat, a young lieutenant in the 53rd Battalion. On July the 19th, 1916, Harry is among thousands of Australian troops in the front lines, waiting and ready to go. As the preliminary barrage intensifies, some Aussies manage a grim joke. Others whisper a prayer, likely thinking of their loved ones. In Harry's case, that's Alice Ross King, a nurse with whom he has found true happiness. Over there, 500 meters away, are the German front lines. They are experienced, well-entrenched troops, and they know our boys are coming. At 6 p.m, the men storm out of the trenches and into a hail of German fire. Harry's men are among several battalions to reach the enemy positions, but success will be short-lived. Some Australians make it through the German front lines to your left, but they soon get bogged down around here. Today, a memorial park. Harry's commander is shot. Calling for medics, Harry is hit seconds later, his body lost to the battlefield. Alice, nursing 250 kilometers away, learns of his fate, an experience to be shared by thousands of Australian women. As the Germans counterattack through the night, in ever-increasing numbers, the Australians are cut off. In the chaos, there are numerous acts of courage. Men help their mates out any way they can, immortalized by this sculpture, Cobbers. By 5 a.m, the scale of disaster is clear. The men are ordered to withdraw. Brigadier General Harold Pompey Elliott breaks down as his shattered battalions limp in, sobbing, "Good God, what's happened to my brigade?" Today, the sights of Fromelles resonate with atmosphere. The battle comes alive inside the museum, with artifacts, displays, and more. Out in the fields, the trenches have gone, but there are still many blockhouses like this one, where a young Adolf Hitler is believed to have been stationed, and which he revisited as a conquering dictator in 1940. A century on, the story of the men who fought here continues. In 2009, the remains of 250 Australian and British soldiers were discovered here at Pheasant Wood, where they had been buried after the battle by the Germans. They were exhumed and reinterred here at the first new cemetery built by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission in 50 years. Many of these men have not yet been identified, but their sacrifice at Fromelles will never be forgotten.